I wasn't joking. Just like that, we came back quicker than ever. We're going into Game 2 very shortly, and we'll get to see how the circles go down. Now, Toby, I always say that you are the man controlling the circles, screwing over the teams, cursing everyone. I come back one day, and we get that off the initial game.
You know what happened? I lost my mojo. Cormac stole it. He was the circle predictor of last week. I don't know how it happened. He just like grabbed...
What? Okay,
he stole
now you got to
my,
explain this. Explain, I'm ready.
No, he just had the whole, it's going to be military, boom. It's going to shift east, boom. He could do it all game long. I think he could have done more, but he didn't want to because that would have made it seem too suspicious, you know? Yeah, Cormac stole my ability, and I'm just not going to do that anymore.
So some teams might try and pick him up to predict where the circle's going to go for him.
Yeah, that could, yeah.
Coach Cormac could be a real thing.
Yeah, that could be Coach Carter, Coach Cormac, yeah. Has a good ring to it.
Could you imagine the PUBG movie? The Irish man leading these teams.
Coach Cormac.
And he gets really angry at them when they're not following what he says. He's like, it's going to go here, and he gets it. And he's like, see, I told you, kids, what are you doing?
500 push-ups. Your teammates can't do them for you. Something like that. In any case, I was going to say, playing that we can actually see and enjoy, and of course, I mean, I would assume to see some changes, at least off of last game, would be very unlikely to see team like Se7en jump back down. But this is actually exactly what I was thinking might happen. No one now goes mill to power. I think it's because you have Avangar, they want to go up towards George Ball.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, because Avangar and Se7en never fought down south, so they might not have known who it was landing with them. And that could be, oh no, maybe they go there again, we shouldn't. And well, I mean, I guess Avangar's just lucky in the sense that they can pick and choose where they want to go, because this plane kind of throws them to both their spots. But a decent plane normally is followed by a tough circle, so we'll see if that's still the case here or not. And in all other things, this is a little more back to the usual, I would say. We've seen this happen a lot of times before. Moonwolf, of course. Not questionable to me, but a little surprising to me, sticks with Novo. And that's when you have a farm split team, you have a military team, and you have a lot of concentration on the Western Bridge too, and you have a military base team. I think there are better spots they could play around, making a lot of their rotations easier. But of course, being on the military can somehow help you out sometimes. But why not go back to things that worked last game, at least for some teams? I think PG is going to be well satisfied with this one. They got themselves a win. Now they got the circle yet again. And, well, at least for other teams, they've had a game to figure out what to do and what not to do. And don't repeat your errors from last game. Fix them this time around, because you get a second chance.
And if you're PG-18, you're saying, hey, do I like the sound of back-to-back wins? I think I do.
Ain't nobody going to be complaining about that. But Moonwolf and teams like Gamerlegion having themselves a bit of a struggle in those last rotations in that game.
Yeah.
That's gonna leave not leave a mark, of course, because these guys have all had good and bad games throughout their entire careers as professional PUBG players, but we'll see if that happening the very next game could become a factor, or if they get to change things around.
Now what we're going to see here, I think, is Besiktas now, they've got where they want to go, right? They know they've got Avangar close by. Well, they won't know it's Avangar, but they'll know they've got another team close by either way. And they'll be able to say, okay, so we fought down for military last time. We actually didn't do too badly, all things considered. Yes, we have to have the solo player in there, but it was actually a 6-kill 5th place, so very respectable. Now they can potentially catch some of these teams rotating over from the north and hold here for a little bit longer, have a different style of approach to it, and see how that can pan out for them.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's exactly the process you need to go through whenever you try to say, okay, we've seen the circle. This is what we had of info last game. But we cannot completely bank on them doing the exact same thing as they did there. Not guaranteed, no. Exactly. So how do we do it here? Do we just go same way as we did last game and hope that some teams do things differently, or do we try to change things up ourselves as well? That's a tough task of being an IGL in games like PUBG, and I guess any Battle Royale, really. When you have so many teams, so many minds you have to try and read, and it's not just that one team against one team kind of mentality. There's so many different, it comes like butterfly effect all over again. One team changes up one thing, forcing another team to change up one thing, and then it just spirals, and then, crazy things ahead of you.
Toby, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. So you know me, I like my tattoos. I've been getting my sleeves sorted out here. You love PUBG, right? You've been involved in it since the very beginning. Would you get a PUBG tattoo? And if you would, what would it be of?
I don't think I will, but that's just because I'm not planning on getting a tattoo. But if I was to get one,
I'd put a pan on my ass.
that's a thing, I guess. I don't know.
Just think about it. If anyone ever slapped your ass, they'd be hitting your pan. I think that'd be brilliant. That's genius.
That's. I don't know.
You get a soundboard on your phone while they do it. Ting.
Well, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, and I'll support you in doing it. Not that I'm gonna be there, but I'll.
We're close, mate. But we're not that close.
I won't be holding your hand, but I'll give you a high five or something whenever you come back to the apartment, that's for sure. Zoekt Een Naam didn't get a lot of kills, if any, last game. This time around, they're looking to change things up, and where Se7en was safe last game, well, this time around, not so much. Fortunately for Northern Lights, they get to hear, no tag team, they get to hear those bullets fired and get to change direction just in time.
Yeah, they decide they're getting the hell out of there. Northern Lights know what's going on, and they can see what's going on that kill feed as well, and they're thinking, well, we'll just wait it out a bit longer. We'll take a slightly longer route. We'll go for the detour, but it's the safer detour option, which is what they're looking for. Se7en losing a player early on is never ideal. They will get the compound now for it, but there was no hope of them saving their teammate.
Jupsik did get thrown off a bit into the distance, but look at this rotation coming in here! No tag and Se7en, they're on top of each other, and right now Se7en are taking a toll. They already lost one player, now they're down to just Buster. Get the hell out of there.
If you are Se7en, you're just saying, nope, not worth it. What the hell's going on? Now, are Se7en still changing up the player, by the way?
Well, not this game.
No, but I mean, last week was that still going on?
No, we didn't see Se7en at all last week. So that was.
Because that was the interesting one, right? Where it's like, are they playing with their full roster? What is Se7en doing? Because clearly they've not been happy with how some games have been going off the back of Kickoff Cup, where they impressed so many people.
Things have been changed back and forth, but I think they're sticking with this. At least they have been. There's no saying in what's going to happen in the days to come. At least for now. And last week, that's what they've decided to sit tight with. Yannick just exactly gets inside the house, but Macken is there to get the knock before anything happens, and this could honestly, this is where things can get tricky, because you can see Gamerlegion, they're pulling up on it. They saw this split, they only noticed one vehicle, if any vehicles up there, and that's going to be Gamerlegion. Well, honestly, figuring out PG in all of this.
Yeah, we said about PG18 looking to try and potentially get some back-to-back wins and work it out. You know the terrain, this was your area. But this time around, Gamerlegion said, hey, we went down last time. We need to step it up, and we're going to step it up and take it directly to you.
Also a really good read by them. They get the knock, they immediately send the vehicles driving forward. They don't see any other vehicles starting to drive towards them. They figure, you know what, that's going to be their split from early game, and they punish them. I like to see that. It's always good when a team dares to make those kinds of play off of info that they have, because they wouldn't just have gone blindly. Had they had no info just pulling up, that would never have happened. But they got the knock. Realized there was no one coming to pick him up, and that's normally the call that he's all left alone.
Riddle running straight on in. That car is lit up like a Christmas tree, and Ivor will find Hanny. Nicely done by Zen. They are loving seeing all these teams rotate by them, and they are ready to get involved in the fight. They may have not done terrible last time. It was just outside of placement points, but they couldn't get the kill. So this time around, they said, no, do you know what? Sod the placement points. We're going to get a ton of kills, and then hopefully find ourselves into placement points either way.
Last game, everyone came in from the south, and that meant that everyone's going to rotate south or far north. Nobody wanted to go for that mid-range rotation, and Zoekt Een Naam didn't really get a whole lot off of kills in that regard. So them getting to use that surprise position once again, fortunately for them, pans out. I'm going to get back to you on the tattoo thing after this game, James. We'll figure it out.
Oh.
Gotta get some time. Like I'm not gonna get an actual tattoo.
Oh, but you get me excited for a second. I thought I'd flick the switch in your head.
No, I need to spend some more time wondering what I would actually get, though. If you guys out there in chat, if you have any PUBG tattoos, I was gonna say share them, but I don't know if I want to have that happen. But just tell us in the chat if you have one.
You can tweet them at me. I'll take tattoo pictures, depending on where they are.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Level 3 helmet. Have that on your arm.
On your face.
Whoa. That would be very committing to PUBG, and there's a big commitment going on here from Winside. Somehow the Deep, though, still manages to take down Gifted Rue, but it'll only be a knock coming in, because they are going to be picking each other apart here. No real benefit to either side.
Trading 1-for-1 so far. Rue goes down. That's the second game in a row. He's the one to fall early. And now Northern Lights off of a good placement. Last game, second place with kills 2. It find themselves, I think, in a fight a little earlier than what they probably would have wanted to go through. But of course, with Winside looting in the Fairy Pier side of things and Northern Lights crossing over on that side, that normally forces teams into one another. This circle, well, centers up as much as it can. Fortunately, we don't get that much water in.
Yeah.
But we're once again out in a scenario where there's plenty of fields, lacking compounds. And well, I mean, for anyone that's in the open now, they're probably going to be staying there. Okay, bro, tried to flank. The boom held him off.
Northern Lights under pressure, under fire, and certainly not where they would want to be at this stage within the fight. We're seeing other teams as well, right? So Quickmath, they already rotated their buy hospital. We need a home. They actually found themselves towards Se7en, stood there for a while, now coming back down. And so they're going to be one of the last teams actually coming into this circle. So maybe this is how they want to turn things around. Because it wasn't like they did badly. They still hit 7th, but it wasn't a huge kill game for them. So
yeah.
Again, adaptation. Change things up. Have a different idea of how you want to rotate. And one thing I think a lot of people need to remember is some of these teams, they will already have, like, if a circle roughly goes to this position, we'll have 2 or 3 ideas already on how we would play this or which way we would go, depending on what information they've seen from previous games or stuff they hadn't had. And there's so much to think about. We're at the 26th game. Like, there's so many things you have to take into account.
Yeah, sometimes people take too many things into account and completely overthink things. And instead of just
mind
saying, let's
yourself
just go
out of
out and kill people. I mean, that's...
Yep.
Sometimes you see, like, in the end of a tournament where a team doesn't have a chance to make it through anyway, they just go, you know, it doesn't even matter anymore. Let's just go out, play PUBG as we used to do, and just start killing whatever we see. And that's when they get those crazy wins. Like, how did it work now? Like,
of all times.
When there's nothing we can do, how the hell do we start pulling off those numbers now? But no, for a team sitting up north, I like what we need a home at doing. They're still sitting far out of the circle. The thing is, with this area of the map, if you commit to a compound, just like here, there's a big chance for these 2 Desperado players. Of course, now they do have Fake and Calvin up the hill. But just anywhere in this circle that you commit, odds are you'll lose that vehicle. And because so many transitions are going to be in the open, you're going to be in need of them. So honestly, the later you can get into a circle in this specific western side of, like, around Gatka, sometimes the better off you are. I mean, unless, of course, if you take a compound early and you're fortunate to get a billion circles on it, that's one thing. And now Buster, that's a frank repeat from last game. Can he get himself into top 4, though? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard. There's still 16 teams up in it. 55 alive, so people have been picked apart just a tad. But Buster, he's not moving. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He's thinking, okay, they've got an idea. If I do nothing, maybe they'll just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the whole, you can't see me, I can't see you. I can hear you, but I don't want to hear you anymore. Please go away. Please leave me to just chill in my house.
If he actually gets to leave, I'd be very impressed. But I don't think Give It or any of the guys are going to let him do that. Buster does get one. He's gonna get the flush as what? No tag, no tag, no tag. I know it's a small thing in the grand scheme of things, but
shouldn't happen.
That should not be allowed. Your 4 guys, it seems to me like they knew. Like, it wasn't just that, oh, there might be one. It seems to me like the way they played, they knew that they were still playing that compound. One thing is you get a play knock. That's fair. That's fine. That's, I mean, he gets a surprising angle on you, but you have to have that second player there ready to get the refrag. That is not good. Not good at all.
Northern Lights still losing players as well. 4AK finding Perfectix, now taking some shots onto Quizzy at the same time. Zen is also taking, this is just unlucky for Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Wherever you've gone since the first rotation, you have been shot at. You've not found any space, you've not found compounds to fight within, and you are just in a very unlucky spot as the new circle pops. Tornado will be happy with this. Melman might likely try and now group up with the rest of his teammates here, depending on which area they want to take. Gamerlegion still got the 2-2 split going on. PG18, obviously they've lost a couple of players now, so less than ideal, but they've got Gatka secure for now. Zen just on the outside, no tag team, looking to gatekeep any of these teams coming in from this northeastern side. And we need a home, and Riddle, they're going to be making their way in, but Quickmath are taking shots at them, who, like you said, have been a bit more aggressive here.
All compounds on the eastern side of this circle have been taken a long time ago, and the whole traverse through is going to be through open field. So everyone right now is saying, you know what, let's just go down south. That's where we have the forest. If we are forced into a fight, we're going to have some sort of cover around us.
Yep.
Odds are that there won't be other teams shooting because we'll have the trees and everything around us. So a lot of teams rotating in from the south. But up north, these guys that are up here, they're going to be blocked by the fields, they're going to be blocked by the swamp area, and it's just not going to make things easy whatsoever. Ronnie is going to start driving through. We just talked about them before. Both 4AK and Zoekt Een Naam have decided to commit down south, and honestly, I think that's the wiser decision, especially off of the position that they were in before. But of course, Zoekt Een Naam, they were positioned there before, the 4AK players came around. And that could mean them potentially losing players. So 2 points so far in the game. Of course, they want more.
Now, we've seen from Riddle, right? We're very kind of... I wouldn't say... We were quite critical, right, on terms of how they rotated and how aggressive some players were getting when the rest of the team weren't backing them up. But they did start to sort that out a little bit. But what we did see was a big change. Is Clib hadn't been hitting those massive shots as often.
Se7en just landed a good spray down on towards Misa, but immediately gained shots in return. You can see Jord. I was going to say just him and Se7en up, but now make that just Se7en. They have an open position, and it's a really dangerous spot to sit if you're only 2 guys alive. There's so many angles. I mean, they can be pushing you from all over the place, and as 2 players, you just cannot hold a full 180 on your own.
Now, if anyone's looking at the map screen, you were talking about it a bit earlier, Toby, but 4AK, they were up at the very north. Then they rotated all the way down south. But one thing I'm most interested in is that they actually got around Zen.
Yeah,
and Zen were taking shots. So, like, that's very impressive that they've managed to come all the way across, not be challenged, and now gain a lot of room here. And they've got so much to work with. And
they needed to commit to it because they couldn't they couldn't let themselves get pinned down on the edge of the circle like that, especially not up against a team like Zoekt Een Naam. So smart of them to take the Ray all the way down. Of course, you never know where the next circle is going to force them to go, but them having a, well, at least for now, a somewhat clear entrance to this one should make things more doable.
Sure, Hero pokes out, more shots come towards him, he runs back in for the cover. He's like, maybe a little bit later. Not the best thing right now to deal with.
I scouted, I saw, and guys, we're not going that way. We're not going that way. We're the quiet Quickmath. Let's go the other way.
He was like, you see to the north, that's the zone. You see to the south, that's Desperado. You see to the west, that's We Need Home. You see to the east, we've got a lot of other teams. So no, thanks, no, not at all.
And you see the circle, and you got an open field.
You hate to see it unless you're Zen.
Yeah, that, I mean, them committing south before alongside 4AK, that really came to pay off, because you can see they even weren't even that far south, but because all the players were already up north where all the big compounds and all that was available, they knew they were going to have some space down there. They stopped, they scouted accordingly, they played it smart, now they got themselves a good spot in the circle because of it. So all the guys that are currently sitting up north, you have to commit south to compounds that are already taken, or crash fields, or go to the hilltop on the west side. That is just gonna be. I mean, your choices here are. I mean, pretty much pants on butts. I mean, that's not what you want to have to go through.
I was opting for it.
I could tell. This is me, like very discreetly trying to give you advice against it.
Oh, okay. You're just trying to turn me away from getting the pan tattooed on my ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Well. Hjort's going to find himself under pressure again, knocked down, but the kill's going to be stolen away from Quickmath. Desperado get involved. Coldman is the one to deal the damage. Zinzan, he tries to keep himself healed up, but there's just too many nades barreling out towards him. And do you know what? It's crazy. We're at 16 minutes, right? We've only just had another team eliminated. Riddle go down in 15th place. 14 remain. 47 players up and alive. And Tok from Avangar, he's going to find himself being knocked down, but can he stay up? Can he stay alive? Or will he be picked apart from some of these other players shooting off towards him?
Avangar had a tough showing last game with some rotations getting opted against them early on. This time around, Maxisol gets knocked. It's going to continue crawling. That should be a giveaway to Jupsig, at least as far as information that they are indeed in that area. Nate first comes in. No damage done. Second one, though, takes both him and Maxisol out.
That's the way you want to get 2 quick kills put on the board. Asverin having to heal himself off. Inactive in the smoke as well. Colderman is able to do more damage throughout this. And Nail Up, he's just lining up these shots perfectly onto Quickmath. Encelenso goes down. He's not missed. He just every single one nice and steady. He had the recoil under control. He knew exactly what he was trying to do here. And Quickmath, these killing fields have been horrible for them as Avangar, they are done and dusted already. 2 games going out earlier than what they would have wanted, and things not starting off the way they would expect it to here on day 1 of this week.
Quickmath as well eliminated. That's not what they would have wanted to have had. 13th place for them. They got caught on the wrong side of the circle, and it did not pan out. Desperado's now trying to hold the hills up. Lux has been spotted out as well. He's going to go down too. Great effort from Calvin and Talsera. They were 2-2 split before, but because the circle shifted south, both Fake and Cold and Mensa came up to help, but you can see this fight is not over just yet. They need to stay alive, and they have a tough downhill push in front of them.
A lot of smokes being used here, but still shots coming out towards them. Simsy will find Calvin Klein, but it's at quite the great distance here. Oh, Coldman looking for more. Quizzy dies out to the zone in the meantime, though, which sees Northern Lights out in 12th off the back of that 2nd place 8-kill game.
Yeah, these wanted to run on through, but that's not going to make things easy at all. Both Northern Lights and PG were on up there. That's going to be both him out now and Bonita home too. Really, really tough turn of events for a lot of these teams as we once again equals the last game, force teams into really, really tough positions. Honestly, rather early on in the game.
4AK is the only team within our top 4 who's still alive from the previous game.
Yeah.
So they're looking for potential 2 good games back-to-back. One more team needs to go down for them to get inside the placement points. They could be Besiktas if they're not careful. Winside, they've been active since the very beginning. They're the opening 3 kills of the game. They'll be looking for some more, but they've got to keep their teammates up here. Gifted Rue already went down early on. You can see Donator here struggling to stand up. His teammate is on the case.
No tech, they were allowed to push around the side until Sarah trying to stay alive. I think it's Calvin on your screen now trying to dodge and weave from the sides, but O'Connell taken down. So Sarah did get the flanking position, but not in time to save his teammate in Calvin. Unfortunately, he does go down. That's 3 knocked players for Desperado. They do have a lot of kills with him, so that's all good, but of course they would have wanted some better placements off of it. 8 kills as well for no tag.
This has become quite the flurry just on this last rotation. Phase 5, it is expected, but Desperado up at 8 kills, and it's only Tozera left alive now. Everyone else has gone down around him, but he's not giving up just yet.
You can see Gamerlegion committed to staying, and then, Jupsik takes the kill and stays alive. Fortunate turn of events for him. 9 HP, but Bjorn from the side secures the finish off, and that's going to be Gamerlegion. I was just going to say, they decide to stay in the compound because they know there's going to be some freebies up in that hillside. If we just stay here, we might not get the early push in the circle, but we will get a whole lot of kills before we can, get on going. But got to give it no tech, even though they got eliminated, still 10 kills.
Moonwolf got a 2-2 split. 2 down on the eastern side, 2 up at the north, and they're taking the shots now at Gamerlegion. As Winside, they will find themselves going down. They've been fighting since the very start, but 6th place, they will be happy with that. Not as happy as the 1st place, but it's still extra points, keeping them going. It's continuing them moving forward at least. 4AK, maybe today is the day where they say, do you know what? We may have been all the way down. What was they, 14th, 15th place? And they're saying, not anymore. Things are going to change.
Clawing their way back up with every single game they're playing. I like to see it. You always got to be able to put those bad performances behind you when there's still plenty more left to play for.
Good use of the cars here as we get towards the open areas. Gamerlegion, they didn't push too far forward. They came out the compound, just rolled up on this high northern ground, but Tornado going to take these shots, and Salia, he's managing to land it to start things off with. McCann will find himself on the floor, and this is where Moonwolf, if they wanted to, could potentially try and challenge it, because they're the ones, yes, it's a 2-2 split for them, yes, they'd still be outnumbered, but knowing Tornado are also taking the shots could benefit them.
You can see Zoekt Een Naam, they're trying to shoot up forward, up towards him. I like the way that all these players are playing, but everyone's on the edge right now. Nobody is playing center, because honestly, there's no center to play. As long as the hillside is in, it's not going to be playable. And oh my lord, this circle shift. There's there's not a single player inside the circle right now, guys. We're in circle 6, and there's nobody. I'm repeating, there's nobody inside this circle.
So Zen are going to work their way up and have to deal with Moonwolf. 4AK, still down in the far south, going to have to push up themselves and probably run into Tornado. And Gamerlegion can probably just sit there for the meantime. Yes, they've lost a couple of players now, but they can sit there and say, well, we're close, but everyone else has to work their way up.
I would assume to see 4AK push over to the hill, like you already have 2 players, and Avangar and Ronnie, they're over here. Northwest would want to push with them, try and take a fight to Tornado, because whoever can sit on that hillside for the longest will have the overview. Only thing being, all the guys in the field, they'll be looking up there, because that's going to be their main threat, right? So you really got to be able to land some key shots if you want to stay alive up there.
The pivotal position, but can they make it work? Compot's already finding himself going down. Found himself knocked out, but example, he's going to turn around and get one of his own and actually go straight in with the flush. And now he needs to back away because he doesn't want to take any more of these fights. He wants to keep the numbers in their favor, especially as Aaliyah is spending that time bringing Compat back to life.
Compat was a big old bait there. That was Ronnie. I mean, Northwest got the knock in, extremely good effort, but Havaki got a bit greedy on trying to get up and get aggressive. Ronnie wasn't quite there with him. And that took him down. Unfortunately, Northwest now caught behind this vehicle. It's not going to make things easy at all.
He takes a few shots. His position is known. 2 versus 3 in this one. And 4AK at this point probably thinking, is there any other teams that might want to help us out a little bit here, you know? Take a few shots to them.
Yeah.
Keep them busy.
Washout's still alive. His 3 teammates has safely made their way into the circle. But how he's planning on crossing this road, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Moonwolf could be the scary team here. They've been quiet for now, but they've got a nice drop onto Zen. And Washout can be the man from the sidelines that could ruin the advantage they have. And that's exactly what happens. Page straight away finds him. And there's going to be no hope of him being brought back up. Zen flushed him out. That's 4 kills for them. And this is where they're going to get active. 14 players alive. They're going to be looking in for all these kills. But can they hang on to it? Ronnie Craze found T-Bone, though. So now it's actually Moonwolf and 4AK taking the shots here. As 4AK, they've gone down for the south and allowed Tornado to push their way into a comfortable position, more center within this circle. Resu landing more shots coming in. T-Bone gets finished off by Ronnie Cray. And Zen, ever so slowly, they've tried to work their way into it, but they're finding themselves being just absolutely destroyed.
4AK, they're not making things easy at all. T-Bone wanted to get within 8 distance, but he was not going to have it. Ronnie took him down, and now he's going to go down in return of it. It's going to be 5th place for the 4 Angry Kids. And I mean, at least for now, Gamerlegion, they can stay put in the northern side, not having to go through anything. But of course, this is kills they want to get a part of.
That's a 3rd and a 5th place now for 4AK, so not bad for the opening 2 games of the week for these guys. Loads of nades being thrown out, but Page is nowhere near. He's got a rock to hide behind, and he's looking to see what these Tornado players are doing. As Gamerlegion, they've been quiet for the moment. Up at the north, they have all the space they want to work with, but they'll come and poke out and take a few shots every now and again and make sure teams are aware that you are not getting up here.
Bjorn and Hamster, they have a tough task ahead of them. There's going to be so many snakes for them to find should they be allowed to stay up here for much longer. We are only in Circle 7 now, so because we've been forced out into the open so early, we had 25 minutes, and we got 8 players alive. That is a very rare sight.
8 players, 4 teams. Moonwolf, the healthiest, with 3 alive. And Oko, Rezu, Edukos, all capable players, sticking together as a unit. They've now moved their way down south, and they're looking to clean it all out. They know up north was where Gamerlegion were. They were on the eastern side of the circle for quite a while, but they are just going to go on the hunt right now.
They'll have to. They know they have the numbers. So many players have fallen from so many different teams without anyone actually getting eliminated, or like insta-killed. So,
Compot just spotted Oko's head. Saw him where he went behind. He's got the information at least to play off of. Page is in between all of this as well, though.
When does he want to aggress, though? He knows that he has example holding the northern side, like the split they're holding right here. But Page is going to be the first line of offense for them. Oko, he's... he actually ran on top of him!
Page will get himself 1. He'll flush Oko, which could upset things for Moonwolf here, putting him down 1 more player as Zen will find 4th place, but that's not too bad at all things considered. Page, he'll be living the dream as more nades come out. Compot, he wants to go for this, but Example is quite far away. He finds himself the not coming in there, but he probably won't be able to get the kill.
Again, one of those situations where Educat's Reso should have been able to flush out the sneaky snake before the knock came in. That could potentially have kept them all alive, but unfortunately now Rezo is down, and I don't think Educas really wants to commit to a res here. Educas, Rezo, I was going to say, crawling back on towards. He's going to crawl away now. I like this play. Do not give up your friend's position. He's crawling out in the distance, and that's gonna make it a little hard of a comfort to read where that other player potentially could be.
Now, Gamerlegion in the meantime, Hamster is going for the crate. They've got the circle, and they are basically dead center. Bjorn and Hamster looking to get the job done here. 6 kills up already for both Gamerlegion and Tornado. Moonwolf, Edokos, he just watched his teammate go down. He's far down in the south, and he's aware Tornado will be looking for him, but he wants these 2 teams to battle back and forth first before he gets involved. It's going to be a waiting game for at least the moment here.
Comfort knows that there's to be at least 1 more player somewhere south of the center, because that's there were no insta kills coming in towards Rizzo earlier. But where is it gonna be? 15x on the M24. He's gonna spot out players, but now Hamster spots out Company in return. AWM. Did he just pick? Oh, he just picked it up too.
Yep.
Oh, that's a beastly pickup when you have a distance to your opponents too.
He's like, this is the care package that dreams are made of. He's also got the crate to hide behind as well as cover. He spots out Compot, doesn't take the shot just yet, wants to try and make sure it lands. Misses the first one, but he's got cover. He knows how to play this.
He has 19 bullets to kill 3 players.
You'd hope he'd land them all. You'd hope he'd be able to get the job done. More nades coming out here, and they are trying to find Edukos still.
This is going to be interesting. It's going to be sneaky snake from now on. Of course, everyone knows Hamster's going to be up by the crate, and Bjorn is going to try and crawl his way into a bit of an off-angle position, potentially able to apply some pressure with a little bit of element of surprise. But Edukons, as you said, James, he's just going to do everything to just not attract any attention.
Compot, Hamster, looking to go toe-to-toe with it. The good thing of Compot is, because they know exactly where Hamster's hiding behind, if he can just pre-aim an angle and then he walks into it, that could be the difference maker in actually trying to win out this duel.
Exactly. And the difference for Tornado right now is that they can't really fully commit to looking towards Gamerlegion because they know there's a snake somewhere close by, and whenever they hard commit to looking up on the northeastern side, that's where Edgecast could just stand up and say, hello, guys, and shoot them from the side. So they, as much as they want to, Edgecast is really being a pain in their butts right now.
Edgecast. Oh. What?
No.
Example? Why?
No.
That is just a big error example. Didn't check his back. Will find himself under pressure. Tornado go down in third now, and that is not what they would have wanted. Edukos, he believes he might be able to try and get this in a 1 versus 2. He's going to continue to crawl his way forward. He's trying to banana man skin his way in to the wheat so he can't be seen potentially. Maybe that's a tactic he's going for in this. Maybe he had the idea. Probably not, but it's something to work with. And Hamster lands a shot. The spray down comes into it, and it will be a win for Gamerlegion and an 8-kill win at that.
They're back at it once again. They really got things going there. 8-kill game was a bit quiet in the beginning, but then once you had the whole Besiktas and Desperados fight up in the hills, they played it wisely. They said, circle shifted away from us. We're not in a hurry, though. We're close to it. There's no... I mean, we can't really get a good spot. Anyway, everything that is somewhat playable is already taken. So let's not stress it. Let's see what we can farm from safety of our compound before we start moving. And then once they did move, only 2 players alive, but they got themselves the whole vehicle fort kind of thing there to play around. And then, sure, circles went up north, so then they didn't have to cross down south. Paid off, got themselves the win with 8 kills. And they'll be taking back that first place spot once again.
Tornado. Example is going to be frustrated as hell after that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it could have been him getting shot at by one of the Gamerlegion guys, and then just one tag was what got him knocked. But in any case, in the late game, especially if you're only 2 guys alive, your dead teammates have to be the ones to say, guys, blues on your back. You got 1 second. You gotta move. Something like that. You gotta be able to provide that info to your teammates. Because when you're playing, honestly, when you're playing and you're trying to stay alive, you got all so much info to take care of. Sure, you can get a tag from blue every now and again, but that's where your teammates' job. Like whenever you're dead, don't just AFK. You gotta help your teammates with everything you can.
Exactly that. A lot of interesting results coming out on this game, though. We only saw. Like, 4AK was the best achieving team out of the ones that did well off the game. 1, Desperado looked like they were going to have a great attempt at doing well. Did manage 8th, but not overall they're going to be pleased with that considering how many kills they were able to pick up alongside it. Good
turnaround for Gamerlegion as well. I mean, they got off to a rough start with 14th with 0 points, right? So them getting a win off of that with the 18-point game, that's pretty damn good spin-off.
It was what they did was they said, okay, we'll let Northern Lights believe that they can have first place. And then we'll come into game 2 and say,
nope.
No, you're not having it, lads. That's ours. And Northern Lights only managed 12th place this time around. It's Avangar again, though. We're watching them just go down here. 2 games in a row. Things not looking strong for them. This next game, it has to be all lights out from them. We need to see one of those classic Avangar style.
Yeah.
Super aggressive, but only when they're comfortable to do it. Say, 12 alive, or when they get to phase 4 or phase 5 like normal.
No tag as well. They got themselves 10 kills despite going out earlier on. And another team we can really look at here is Zoekt Een Naam. They made that rotation down south. It paid off. They got themselves into a good spot. I'm not sure exactly how many kills they ended up at. We'll see that in just a short moment. But they have been going through a pretty rough patch here. And I mean, honestly, them finding their way into the end game, although they of course know what they're capable of doing themselves, it's just one of those, okay guys, we still got it. Let's make sure to finish off with a good final game here.
And that's what it's all about, trying to finish strong before going into the next day. Remember, it's 4 days and 3 games each day on these weeks. So plenty of games to come these teams' way, but we're already whittling through them so fast
we
here.
Sure are. Things are going to be over before we know it. And then it's phase 3, and then after phase 3 is the global super duper World Cup championships and the Nations Cup as well. That's going to be interesting to see. I'm a sad Denmark isn't in it, but at least got UK in.
Hey, we did something, right? There we go.
We did something.
We may have Brexited out of everything that we wanted, but we managed to achieve nations. I'll take that.
Yeah, you can of course all go and get the info on over on PUBG Esports in regards to those events. But it's going to be really interesting, that's for sure.
Like you called it the Global Super Duper Cup. Imagine if that was actually its name.
Now
that would be pretty impressive.
Now it is. That's going to be the
cool
hashtag. Global Super Duper Cup. That's the name. But even though No Tag finished out early on with just a single placement point, they ended up in 3rd because nobody really had the extremely heavy-hitting situation in regards to kills. But as we say that, 5 teams got double-digit points. and a 6th team got 9. That's actually overall a lot of points accumulated for a few teams, but that of course also just means that the guys in the bottom page, who just didn't even care to see, there's got to be a lot of zeros down there.
Yeah, it's going to be some big fat zeros across the board there, but it certainly wasn't in kills for a lot of these players, and it was quite evenly spread within it. Bjorn, he's up there with 5, but so Zero, considering where Desperado is finishing 8th, that's not too bad at all. Page in it as well, and of course no tag team like you mentioned, having 10 kills overall. Well, they were getting the damage done, but for AK, they're going to be the ones with the most impressive couple of back-to-back games, because they had a game just then where they got 5th place and 7 kills, and they had 3rd place and 6 kills in game 1. So let's see if they can keep that up going into the 3rd and final game. That's going to be an interesting one to watch.
It sure is, because they have still got quite a road ahead of them.
Yes, they need points.
Yeah, they need to just start racking them up and get that second half of games going their favor.
And when it comes to damage, when it comes to kills being done, Bjorn was able to take advantage of a lot of it to go in his favor, all things considered. In Gamerlegion, they would have said, do you know what, Northern Lights, don't worry. You had that 1st place. You can screenshot it once because it won't be coming back. We're going right back up to the top. But no tag team as well are going to jump them just a little bit. 1 point separates them. PG18, though, wasn't ideal for them. 10th they ended up going out in, and I think they got 1 point because I think it was 192 before. So, yeah, not what they would have wanted with this one.
And you can see the gap from 4th all the way down to 5th, all the way down to 6th. I mean, just there is a solid amount of points. But then when you go all the way down the leaderboard, you have another split off in 7 points between 11th and 12th. So as Colmac completely, correctly stated last week, we're kind of seeing these teams being in separate groups within the group of how things are lined out. At least right now, of course, all these things can change, but you just got to keep it in your mind. It's like one of those. You just got to get up there. Like, just got to get up to the next level before I can surpass and go even further.
And that's what it's all about, achieving that next level and getting there. It's going to a break for us once again, and you'll probably be thinking we're coming back very soon, which is likely to be, because we want to get into the game. There's one more to come your way, so stick with us. Don't go anywhere. Maybe just quickly try and grab a drink or go to the toilet if you need to, but come straight back because the action will be coming your way.